Hey, Tatum. I guess you're first. Whoa. Welcome, everyone. Yeah, sorry about yesterday. I'm gonna make it up for you. Alright. How'd everyone do today? Hopefully everyone did good. A D-King play for the Super Bowl? We could do a D-King play. Everyone loves CVS. I love CVS. Let's look at CVS. I mean, CVS is following this channel down. I imagine this is going to be support right here. In that range. So you're probably going to have this retest 71, and then that'll be a good entry. I do see like a sort of a falling wedge, but it's not very pronounced. So, but I do think this finds support right here. That would make sense to me. Yeah, I hope Dougie doesn't get mad. I know he's live too, so. No, I haven't used donkey and channels before. Sound like donkey channels. Let's look at futures. I saw futures open green. Did they stay green? This looks good. I think we're going to be reversing. So, I mean, it's struggling with this area right now. So it needs to get over. Oops. Needs to get over this line right here, basically. So this is pretty good support. Let's take out our fan here and see what we're dealing with. I like it. So we're riding the 618 extension here down, which is very bullish. So as long as it doesn't go below this line, even if it goes down a bunch, it might go down and form a shoulder here. But you got basically a head and shoulders right here already. And so I think tomorrow looks good, even though futures look bad right now. We're down? I mean, we're not down, not even 10%, or not even a tenth of a percent. So I think it should bounce here for maybe a pennant, and we should be good tomorrow. So what I'm looking at here then is going high to low on this most recent move and seeing what's happening here. So all right, let's see what we could do here. I mean, if we're green tomorrow, I mean, Fortuna called it right here and said we were going to be green. And so she's usually pretty right. I mean, she called a move from, or maybe it was right here she called it. I think it was like right here. Yeah, it was right here she called it. So she's usually a little early, but she's usually not wrong. In fact, Super Fortuna's just never been wrong on SPY yet. I think it's called bullish SPY moves 7 times now. So what we're looking for is probably a, this could be a megaphone that this does right here. But I would imagine as soon as it pops over here, tomorrow we should be testing 382, most likely. So looking at this being the range of trading for tomorrow in this range here. So I appreciate all your guys' interest in other tickers. I'm trying to get through market recap and just cover a few things. I don't have a ton of time. I got some enchiladas in the oven, but while they're cooking, I figured I'd use some time and show you guys a few charts here since I kind of maybe fell asleep on live last night. That's something I never thought I'd say. So we'll see how that projects. And then we could take this down here and kind of see what's going on here. So I imagine what will happen is this will probably come down to about 375. So it might ride all the way down to here, and then right here we'll see a bounce up from there. So we could also, if this is the case, we could also project from high to low right here as well. That's not a good sign. So the fact that it sold off on this, had someone call these blast circle radius or blast radius circles. I thought that was pretty funny. But the fact that it hit this line and then sold off is not. Those are not very good candles. But as long as it can hold this line down, SPY should be okay. So let's look at a little bit longer term here. Let's look at 4 hours and see what we're dealing with here. So I would think this is probably the full move right here, and that looks right. So I would imagine it goes all the way up to here tomorrow around 382, which was my prediction, and then we could have a sell-off on Wednesday. So I'm bullish tomorrow, and then I'll be bearish Wednesday most likely. We have been getting crazy, just crazy call or put flow. People are very bearish on the market right now, so that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, if you like the stream, give me a like. It helps me grow my stream and get more people in here, and that's always a good thing. So, all right. And the more people I have on streams, the better I can do at giving giveaways, because I usually donate all my streaming money. So throw that like button up. All right, let's look at tech futures real quick. Tech looks crazy bullish. Okay, so I had saw this falling wedge. I had looked at this over the weekend, and when Super Fortuna called that we were going up Monday, I go, yeah, that's almost always happening. So we had a falling wedge into a support zone, and it bounced hard. You can see this wick right here is a very hard bounce. That means the price came all the way down, hit this uptrend, and then came all the way back within the same candle, which is an extremely bullish. And this is actually a morning star reversal, and is a very good reversal. So this candle right here is insanely bullish, and we're doing a little flag right here, and I expect tomorrow to be very green. Tatum tots. You know, I like them chanting Tatum tater tots. Thank you. I don't know why you guys all think I'm Asian. Maybe because I'm Russian and Russia's in Asia part of it. You know, I've been hearing a lot of chatter for months now on Corsair Gaming. Oh, I have it charted. Wow. So I had a pretty good plan here. Looks like we had a head and shoulders here that turned out to be bullish. So that turned out right there. And we had a wave 5 super extension here. I mean, I had this back here, so once it broke this thing, it went nuts and then sold off immediately. And I imagine it's going to finish this pennant now, and we'll decide where it's going to go. So again, for me, I would probably lower the, if you're on Corsair, it's at, what, 37? It's up a couple cents after hours. You could play it, but it's pretty, I mean, I really wouldn't touch it right now. I'd wait for it to, if it broke the green line, I'd go in with calls, and if it broke the red line, I'd go in with puts. I mean, that's pretty simple there. Candles are however long you want them to. So up here you can see I have 4-hour candles. You could pick however long candles you want. So typically when I'm macro charting, I'll use a 2 to 4 hour range. So if you're in the newsletter, you'll see that I almost always exclusively use 2 to 4 hours. Sometimes I'll use a 1 hour, but this helps you see mega trends. So that's that's something to keep in mind. Let's do some silver. I really want to cover silver tonight. Um, silver. Ooh, look at that circle. Wow. Those blast radius is coming clutch. So I fully expect this thing to come back down and in ping pong in here. I actually had this charted out last night, and literally it followed my trade plan completely. So if I turn on the lines here, you can kind of, maybe you could see it a little easier. So these lines I had charted out a while ago, I might have to move the timetable over a little, but I still think this is pretty accurate. Because what I think is going to happen is tomorrow's going to be a consolidation day, maybe even Wednesday, but by the end of the week we're going to break the circle. This circle is going to be really hard to break. I know people probably don't know what Fibonacci circles are. Thank you, Jim. Jim's a funny name for a lady. But I'm sure those are your initials actually. But this is following my trade plan here pretty good. I'm hoping it doesn't take to the end. We're pretty bullish on silver right now. It is down after hours, but that's healthy. It needs to go. It's down 2% after hours. I'd really like it to go down another 2%, if I'm being honest with you. I'd like it to hit 28 here and bounce, and then that would prove to me that it's super bullish. Now, the inverse of that is, if we go on the 15-minute here, you can see it's forming a head and shoulders. I had this conversation with someone on Twitter today. He had texted me a chart of ACB, Aurora Cannabis, and he said, this thing has a head and shoulders. It's very bearish. And I go, no, head and shoulders, I think there's a misconception on it. So I think most people don't get this. So head and shoulders is a bearish pattern generally. So, but there's exceptions to the rules. There's always exceptions, right? So generally head and shoulders are bearish. But if you include that, for me, a bearish head and shoulders Blaze, I have not covered CCIV, but if you give me a second after I go through silver, I'll take some requests and I'll do yours first. I literally have not looked at it, but I've been hearing tons of chatter about it, so I understand. I've heard chatter about BNGO as well. You don't need to ask more than one time on tickers. I do read all the comments. So let me just get through some stuff, and I know you guys, there's a lot of stuff you want to look at, so I just wanted to get through this real quick. So what we're looking at here on the left shoulder, and so this is actually a little bearish. So the volume here, if we, this is something you could do on volume too. So on volume, you could actually turn on an MMA line, and this is your volume MA line. So you can see here that the volume has dropped significantly. And I suggest using a MA line, which is moving average. I think they're very useful sometimes than just looking at the candlesticks on the volume. So you can see here the volume on the right shoulder is much greater than the left shoulder. So this right here is saying that we have the volume on the sell-off actually peaked at people buying back in here, and this thing did not move up as much, so you had a lot of buyers and sellers fighting here. Typically when you have so this is actually good. So typically when you have a bearish head and shoulders, the left shoulder will have the most volume, followed by weaker and weaker volume. So the fact that volume was increasing on all three head and shoulders tells me that we're probably going to be okay on silver, and it might have just reversed right here. So I'm looking at this right here, and in the last 5 minutes of me talking, this went up 0.5%. So it might have bounced right here, and if it did, I'm totally cool with that. So we do have a lot going on here. It does have a bunch of resistances here, so this is going to be interesting to see, and I do think this will probably end up making a pennant tomorrow. So Uh, a lot of people use volume weighted average price, Jason. I actually don't use it. I have it built into Super Fortuna. Actually, I do use it in Fortuna and Super Fortuna. So I can't say I don't use it. I do use it in some of my indicators, but I don't use it personally. I don't look at it on day trading because I'm more of a swing trader. I do turn my swings. So when I get into a play, it's almost always designed to be a multi-day runner. But I don't, and the multi-day runners will turn into day trades if I'm up very big. My favorite miner is probably WPM, AG, SILJ is a ETF for a bunch of miners. So SILJ is really good. MAG and PAAS. So, all right. So someone had a question about CCIV. Ooh, this looks nice. It looks like it's starting wave 5 right now. Just at a quick glance, I'm gonna turn off the volume here. I am concerned that it's running on basically zero volume down here. So the fact that we have mega volume on these right here, but this is going up on no volume, is a little concerning to me. And what that basically means to me is this wave 5 might be a short wave and might only get to like 27. Oh, what? Wait, what? Is it up? That is it up $3 after hours? My goodness. Hold on a second. What is happening? Did it get news? Oh, wow. So this is gonna gap up, huh? Um, I don't know anything about this. Is this a SPAC or what is this? Hold on, it is a blank. Yeah, this is a SPAC. Okay, that makes sense now. There's no news. It's just FOMO, people talking about it, chatter. Okay, so this is probably. I mean, with that candle after hours, this could actually do the thingy. So let's chart out a projection for all you CCIV holders. If this does do a full wave 5, you're probably looking between 33 and 35 with a super possibility of it going to 44. But I would say between 30 and 35 is probably... It needs to get over 27, and right now it is at all-time highs. So this could do a full wave 5, and you'll be looking around 33, between 33 and 35. Oh no, my enchiladas. Yeah, I got about 20 minutes before I gotta take my enchiladas out. So typically wave 3 is the biggest, which is a little concerning here. So um, basically what this means to me is this wave didn't start probably until right here. So this is probably the wave that started right here because you have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so each wave is a compounding wave. So each wave is getting bigger and bigger. So these are pretty unique. You don't see them very often, but it is interesting. So you would think this would be the start here, but sometimes you get this might be a small microwave, and the actual wave started here. So that does it does tell me that it's going to struggle with here though. So we'll see. It might struggle and form basically a cup here. And you might get a handle here. So this could be a full 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 through 28. It's going to depend on where this opens tomorrow. I don't know what the volume looks like after hours, but yeah, I got chicken enchiladas in the oven with extra chicken and cheese and a nice cheesy red sauce, and it's going to be delicious. No, I've got them in the oven. All right. I know people want them, so I'm just going to go through them really fast. I want to start doing these less and less because I think they're going to become less and less relevant. But I have seen some setups today that are warranting us to talk about. So, all right. I am an AMC personally, so I want to show people this. I'm just going to clean up some stuff here. So, Extended hours have not been very good to us, but looks like it did hit 11 after hours, which could actually have been a support, so that would have been right there. So I may have had that support wrong. So that is good news. You do have an ABC correction here, which is also good news. So that would look something like this. So again, it all depends on how this plays out. So it looks like you kind of have a rising wedge here after hours. That looks like this. So depending on how that wedge breaks, we got about, 10 minutes left in after hours, and I'm almost positive it's just going to sit in here and won't make a decision tonight, and it's going to make us sleep on it. So if we can get some volume in the morning, get this thing going, it could reverse and start going again. I'm not going to make any promises on this now. The initial euphoria on it wore off, so now we need to drum up some euphoria again, and it's going to be a tough one, I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to hold my shares because I like the idea of the movement, but I only put a couple $100 in here. I think I got maybe five. I think I got maybe $800 in it. Five to $800. I got to look again, but let's look at Gamestop because I know that is very popular. Whoops, not Gamestop. Hold on, that's GME Resources. So, looks like GameStop looks incredibly bearish. So, what GameStop did was it went under the trend line and then rejected off of it. So this old support is now resistance, and so if you're in GameStop, I would not be super thrilled about that. I would see how it opens tomorrow, though, and that'll tell us what we need to know. So, and I might have this a little wrong. It might be more like that. What does that look like then if I do that? Nope, still bad. So, I know a ton of people got into Nokia as well. Nokia's been trading in these ranges here. Nokia looks a little better than some of the other ones. The volume, though, is just, you can see, look at the head and shoulders on the volume. It's literally a pump and dump, and I eventually think it's going to go back down to 4 and fill that gap. So hopefully you're not in Nokia either. And then last but not least is Blackberry. And Blackberry looks awful as well. I was hoping it would hold this support zone here and come back up, but it did not. And so the fact that it didn't hold that support zone is not very good. And so this thing's going to go through a full correction, and I think we may be done with these. I mean, it looks like the bears are winning, and the big corporations just have more money and more coordination. And so while the euphoria was there, I think they all covered their positions last week. And so the squeeze is, I think the squeeze is done. I'm sorry. So, alright, let me take a sip here. Ooh, I got some chips next to me. Hopefully they're not too loud. Oh, yeah, let's have some chips. What I am looking here on Blackberry, though, is it has this gap here. And hopefully, looks like it's filling in this gap with some buyers. So, if you don't understand gaps, I'm just going to give you a quick lesson on it. So what happens is there's no supply and demand in here. So typically we'll gap over that area because there's no one that owns the stock in that area that wants to buy it or sell it. So until you get someone that wants to sell it for a good profit, that's when it goes back down. But now we need to create that the supply and demand in there so it can go up naturally and we don't get these giant gap ups. Yes, I said GameStop already squeezed. And if you're going to show me a stat that tells me it's 250% shorted, I'm going to show you another stat. All of the shorts that had it down here covered right here. all of them covered right here. Now all of the shorts own it from up here. So this right here is all the new shorts. All the old shorts are out, so now you only have the new shorts. So it is Ruffles. Holy shit, DT, you win a sandal. Yeah, Ruffles baked sour cream and cheddar. So what people don't understand is they see the short interest. It doesn't matter the short interest. It matters when they started shorting it. So if all the old shorts got out and covered their positions, but you see this giant She-Hulk dildo down, this is the new shorts right here. So this is people shorting it all the way from 500 down to 130. And most of them probably shorted it right here, right here, right here. So they own, the average short probably has it shorted around 350, and they don't give a shit that it's in this range because their short is extremely profitable right now. So people need to understand that. And I think that's being missed by a lot of people. I do like me some Triscuits and hummus. I like it. I like Triscuits. My course is free on YouTube. If you're subscribed to my channel, I have a bunch of different courses you can go watch. They're completely free. I've always been the proponent of free education. Now, you can go pay for courses out there. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. If there's a good one out there, go for it. But I've always been the proponent that I learn for free from a lot of helpful people. So I will give back that to everyone and always create free content for you to go learn. So, alright. I have heard some things about AI. And someone asked me to do it on live last night, and I did not get to it because I fell asleep. But, oh wow, okay, this looks nice. I could see why Dougie liked this. So I usually do my trend lines first. There we go. Usually do my trend lines first, and then I'll do my other cool stuff after. Aha! Alright, so this had a blast circle breakout, as we can call it. We had almost no volume, and we're saying this is going bonkers after. Okay, oh, wow, it's up $12 after. $12 whole dollars? Oh my. So this tried to break out of this pennant right here. This is going nuts. What's going on with this? I mean, this isn't something I looked at. I like the ticker, though, AI. That got me intrigued. It is kind of in a channel up here, so if we were to clone this line right here, we could probably see that channel. Looks like that's the channel right there. Alright, so this is what I'm talking about with like a bullish head and shoulders versus a bearish head and shoulders. This actually looks like a bearish head and shoulders because the left shoulder is bigger than the right, and it's got way more volume with decreasing volume. So it's weird, like if I was a betting man, I would have probably been short on this, but I would have been wrong, unfortunately. But that's good that I wasn't a betting man on this. So oh, they had news. Hey, Dougie. Yeah, Dougie's been on this for a while. Thanos here. So props to him. He has been all over this. So the circles, I know the circles get confusing. So these are called Fibonacci circles or Fibonacci arcs. Basically, you draw it from the high point to the low point of one of the most major moves, and generally, let's say you cut it in half here. So this is the halfway point. We'll just make that purple so we can see. So this is the halfway point. These will act as resistance arcs up here, and then these will, and if it's below, it'll act as support. So you can see it's riding the support up, and transversely, it's riding the support down here. So typically that's what they're used for, and the arcs here can signify major moves that are impending. So if you're on my Twitter and you saw my SPY chart from last week, I had predicted that SPY was going to sell off, and I was right. So, all right, I do have to go check my enchiladas here in a few minutes. So, actually, give me a second. I promise I'll be right back. I'm just going to go check them. I don't want them to burn. I don't know if I had the temperature right. I might have had it too high, which may have caused them to cook close or cook faster. So just give me a few minutes, and I will be right back. Probably be like 2 minutes. All right, sorry about that. Looks like we lost a couple people. It's to be expected. So, enchilada's got a couple more minutes, so that's good. That means we can keep going. Had to hug my daughter because she was requesting some hugs. So, all right. Oh yeah, gotta have some rice and some refried beans and some lettuce and sour cream and guac. Yeah, man, you gotta do it right if you're gonna do it right. All right, they're looking good. I think they're pretty much done, but I'm just gonna give them a few more minutes. Holy cow, I was so right on Apple. I told you it was going to 130, and I was freaking right. Now we can go back up though. I do think Apple looks primed to go up. I've been calling it from 130 from here. So, sorry I was bearish on Apple. I know people will love it. But I think Apple's going to be okay now. So, it held in this support zone. I'll show you the path here I got laid out. I actually already have this charted out, so we can just throw the lines up on there. But I think Apple's going to make a huge move towards the end of the month. I fully predict. You see this right here? This is actually something I project out for a while. So if we go to the 4 hour, I have a super cycle going on with Apple. So if we look at this, you can see here I charted out a super cycle here. I don't know what's going on with that, but basically what you're looking at here is a 1, 2, 3 flat correction, and now we're on wave 5, and so this is going to be real nice. So yeah, so you can see all the subwaves here, subwaves in here, and so I think Apple could be a good contender for a couple month out calls. They just had a huge earnings. Like, they blew things out of the water. So the fact that they sold off on just crazy earnings was purely technical. It had nothing to do with the earnings. It was purely technical. That was in a corrective wave. Yeah, I think Apple's going to 160 to 170 probably in the next 3 months. So something to keep in mind. All right, I had people asking me about this today. Pfizer got really good news lately because I think J&J and Merck both said that theirs wasn't as good, and Pfizer's COVID vaccine is pretty good. So this was the vaccine hype here. It's died down. So what you really need to do is, I think they have earnings tomorrow, or did they already have earnings? Did earnings just come out? Hold on. If this is right, their earnings were really bad. Yeah, that sucks. I like Pfizer as a company. Long term, they're going to be fine, but just based on the after hours movement and everything, the float on this is just so massive. This is a $200 billion company. This is never going to go super high. If you want to invest in Pfizer, do it as a dividend stock because it's got a really nice yield on the dividend, 4.5% almost. And because it doesn't move much, you could buy 100 shares and sell covered calls, and you can make a lot of money on Pfizer. You just got to do it the right way. And I think people are so enamored with naked call strategy, naked put strategy, getting the huge percentage points. But doing a dividend covered call strategy is extremely profitable and extremely reliable. There's almost no way to lose money on it. And now you're not going to get 1,000% returns, but you can make 30-40% a year on a stock very easily doing a covered call strategy. You can also loan your shares to shorts and earn interest that way. And you could still, even loaning your shares with a share loan purchase, you could still do covered calls and still collect your dividends. So these are strategies that people never talk about, and I wish they did because they're very profitable and very reliable. So ooh, let's do some weed. Yes, I did call out a CGC lotto, and so I do expect CGC to push 42 tomorrow, and then after that it should retrace. I do have CGC fully mapped out. I've been following it for quite a while, so I've always expected CGC to hit about 42 in this range, 43. Now lotto is a 45. It could push right through here and go to 47, but if it's up tomorrow to 42, 43, then I think extended hours this thing's up too. So extended hours, it's up 40 cents after hours. So if you're intro to options, I don't personally. I am working with a few people to get some more education videos done faster, so look out for that. I'm hoping to have a lot of education added this week, so hopefully by the end of the week I'll have most of the courses up. It is going to be a huge priority for me to give you as much free education as possible, because I have a theory that the more educated traders that I have in my team that work together, the more profitable we can be. So I don't mind educating people and answering questions and all that. If we all work together, we're going to be profitable. That's my theory. The software I designed is designed to save us time and make us more profitable, and then together we can use the software together to make even more money. So I have been in NNDM since I think it was at $9. I shouted it out. I know Dougie. Yeah, here you can actually see that I haven't charted this since it was in right here. I told people this, and this was I told everyone about this. This was actually a newsletter play a few what was this, in December. So I had all these alerts set. I had this charted out, and I said, hey, if this thing goes over $10, like, you're gonna want to get in it. So right now, let's remove all of this and deep dive this. So basically, what happened was this had a full 5-wave play. So now this is correction. So basically, you can tell this is a correction based on the gap up. So this will probably come back and retest 11. This will be a 1, 2, 3 down, most likely. So NNDM right now, I'm not loving, but I do see a bounce up probably to 15, and then a retest down here, and then after that this can go up again. So long-term NNDM very bullish. Short-term, maybe in the next day or two, bullish, but medium-term I am bearish. So just keep that in mind. Enchiladas aren't going to get burned. I got 5 minutes. I'm going to go pull them out. So I turned down the temperature anyways. Apologize, I'm running out of time here. But I'm just going to try to look through the chat and see if there's some that I'm getting a lot of pings on. Hopefully this made up for last night and you guys are liking it. Let's take a quick recap on futures and silver, and we'll wrap it up that way. So futures are now green. So they were red when we started the live, and they are now green as predicted. Let's look at tech. I imagine tech's going to be really bullish this week. So tech is super green. Tech is definitely being green. I think tech's going to go crazy and test. I think tech will retest all-time highs. The big thing that we're looking at on tech is Amazon and Google. So if Amazon and Google are really good. I'm sorry, Boss J. I missed your tip there. Let me look at that. It must have been when I was. Holy cow! What's going on here? They have some news or something. Okay, so you can clearly see this is a very, looks like it's been shorted very heavily. So how is this after hours? Nothing crazy. Okay, so looks like it's making a cup and handle here. This is definitely gonna probably go sideways for a little bit. It definitely needs to develop some more buyers here, so I think it'll ping pong in this area. So what you're looking for is it to ping pong in this area, and I know that's a wide range. I mean, it's $9.70 to $12, but you know, these low cap. I mean, it's a $1 billion company, so it's not super small, but it is still small, and it'll probably do something. Probably do a 5-wave correction here, so probably look something like this. Oops. So probably do something like that, and then after that it can break out. So it's got this cup. It's going to make the handle here flag, probably a flat flag, and then after that it can break out. So hopefully that answered some questions there. Yeah, AMC might be done. I think I was looking at it, and what I was saying was it needs to hold this flag right here. You can't see it because it's in after hours, but basically after hours it started to create a flag here, or a rising wedge, and what we need to do is if it can be above 1250 tomorrow, then we're back on, and if it gets below 12, so if it opens over 1250, game on. If it opens under 12, I'm probably going to sell my shares, if I'm going to be honest with you. So I have never been a fan of Naked. I think that's a strict pump and dump. That company has never made money and will most likely go out of business, and that's why it was so shorted. So I'm going to go eat my enchiladas now, and hope everyone has a great night. I'll do a couple more lives this week, and I'll probably do one on Wednesday. I'd love to do a Wednesday night classroom, teach some stuff and look at some tickers and things like that. Hopefully everyone makes some money tomorrow, and if I get some time, I'll probably post some charts in the Discord for everyone that I missed if I get some time. Otherwise, watch my videos and go chart them yourself. You know, that's the whole point, is to teach you so you can chart and you don't need me. You know, that's the big plan. So thank you and have a great night, everyone.